The Sacrifice of Isaac, a Journey of Faith and Obedience. Inspired by Genesis 22 verses 1 to 19. Whispers of the Divine. The morning sun spilled over the vast hills of Beersheba, painting the sky in hues of rose and gold. The air was cool and crisp, filled with the scent of wild herbs and the faint rustling of leaves. Abraham, a man now aged well beyond 100 years, sat beneath a terebinth tree, reflecting on the journey of his life. For decades, he had walked with the unseen God, El Shaddai, the Almighty, through deserts, cities, victories, and trials. From Ur of the Chaldeans to the land of Canaan, his footsteps had followed the voice of a God who spoke from the heavens and moved through dreams and angels. He remembered the promise that had shaped his existence: I will make you into a great nation. Through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed. And that promise had a face: Isaac. The boy, now a young lad, perhaps 13 or older, was the miracle child of Sarah's old age. Born when all logic and nature had said it was impossible, Isaac had brought laughter, hope, and a renewed faith in God's promises. But this particular morning was different. Abraham had sensed it even before the sunlight kissed the earth. In the quietness of dawn, as birds began their songs and the wind gently brushed the leaves, a voice called to him. Abraham. He straightened. His heart beat slower, yet stronger. This was the voice he knew. Not heard with the ears, but perceived deep within, clear, unmistakable, holy. Here I am, Abraham replied. Then came the words that would split his soul. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will show you. Silence. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. For a long moment, Abraham sat motionless. The world around him seemed to pause, holding its breath. 1,000 thoughts collided in his mind. Isaac? Sacrificed? But he is the promise. The heir. The one through whom nations would rise. And yet, the voice was not a stranger. It was the same voice that had guided him faithfully through the years. The same voice that had delivered him from famine, protected him from kings, and fulfilled what seemed impossible. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Abraham whispered once more, Here I am. The journey begins. At dawn the next day, Abraham rose early. The decision had been made in the solitude of a long, tear-stained night. He had not told Sarah, not yet. How could he? With quiet resolve, he saddled his donkey, chopped wood for the offering, and summoned 2 of his servants. Isaac, unaware of what was to come, was also called. The boy was used to accompanying his father on journeys of worship. His smile was innocent, his eyes bright, and his heart full of trust. They set out, the early morning light stretching their shadows long upon the earth. For 3 days, they traveled in silence. The mountains loomed in the distance like ancient sentinels. The sun climbed and dipped, and each night they rested under the stars. Abraham barely slept. He watched Isaac, memorizing every movement, the way he laughed at the stars, the way he asked questions about God, the way he leaned against his father in sleep. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the mountain of Moriah in the distance. A deep sigh escaped his lips. He turned to the young men who had traveled with them. Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you. We will come back, he said. Was it a statement of hope? Faith? Perhaps both. The climb of surrender. With the wood strapped to Isaac's back, a knife at Abraham's side, and fire in hand, the 2 began the ascent. Isaac broke the silence. Father? Yes, my son. The fire and wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham's breath caught. His voice trembled slightly as he replied, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. Isaac nodded, satisfied, trusting. The climb was steep. Rocks shifted under their feet. The air grew thinner, the path narrower. Abraham's heart felt heavier with every step, yet his faith pressed him forward. He did not understand the purpose, but he trusted the one who had always been faithful. At last, they reached the summit. The world spread beneath them, valleys, rivers, forests, and far-off cities. But all Abraham saw was the altar he was about to build and the son he was about to lose. The altar of obedience. With solemn care, Abraham built the altar, laying stone upon stone. He arranged the wood meticulously, as he had done in past sacrifices. But this time, his hands shook. Then, he turned to Isaac. "My son," he said softly. "You must trust me." Isaac looked into his father's eyes and saw tears, sorrow, and something else, an unshakable peace. Without resistance, without struggle, the boy allowed himself to be bound. The scriptures are silent about any protest from Isaac. Perhaps he had learned the same trust his father had. Perhaps he too had begun to understand that obedience to God was greater than understanding his ways. Abraham laid him on the altar. His heart pounded, a war of love and faith raging within him. Tears streamed down his face. He raised the knife. Then, Abraham. From heaven thundered like 100 trumpets and whispered like a breeze in the trees. "Here I am," he gasped, the knife froze in midair. "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." In that moment, time seemed to stop. Abraham fell to his knees, weeping uncontrollably, clutching Isaac to his chest. Relief, joy, awe, emotions too great for words, poured from his soul. Then, in the thicket nearby, a ram appeared, its horns caught in the brush. "Will provide." Abraham untied Isaac, embraced him tightly, and together they offered the ram as a burnt offering in worship. As the flames rose, so did their praises. Abraham named the place Yahweh, the Lord will provide. And it was said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." He understood now. God had never desired Isaac's death, but Abraham's heart. This was a test of ultimate surrender, of faith beyond sight. As they descended the mountain, Isaac walked beside his father, different now, not a boy, but a young man marked by the presence of God. The bond between them had deepened into something eternal. When they returned to the servants, Abraham's words came true, "We will come back to you." And they did. Heaven's blessing. After the test, the voice came again. This time, not as a command, but as a blessing. "I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you. I will make your descendants as stars in the sky. Through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me." Abraham's faith had not just shaped his future, it had changed the destiny of nations. Isaac would grow to become the father of Jacob. And from Jacob would come the tribes of Israel. And from Israel, one day, the Messiah, the Lamb who would not be spared. The moral of the mountain. The story of Abraham and Isaac is more than an ancient tale. It is the essence of faith, a surrender so complete that nothing is held back from God, not even the most precious. Obedience to God may lead us to mountains we do not understand, and altars we never imagined. But on every mountain of surrender, God provides. Not always what we expect, but always what we need. Isaac's sacrifice pointed forward to another hill, centuries later, Golgotha, where God the Father would not spare his only son. But this time, no ram would take his place. In Abraham's test, we see the shadows of the cross. But we also see this eternal truth: God is worthy of our trust, even when we do not understand his ways. For he sees the end from the beginning. He provides. He He is Yahweh Yair.
Thanks for watching Bible Takes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.